If you could go back to the moment you ruined a relationship, would you do it differently? If you could freeze time during a moment of pure joy, would you stay there forever? And if you could fast forward through pain and loss, would you still be you? Today, we explore a provocative what if. What if humans could control time? Not just travel through it, but actually command it, pause it, rewind it, skip forward at will. Would that power be the key to human perfection, or the beginning of our unraveling? Let's find out. Imagine a world where technology or human evolution has made it possible for every person to control time. No longer bound by the linear march of past, present, and future, people could replay cherished memories, skip boring days, or pause time entirely to think through a life-changing decision. Picture standing at the scene of an imminent car crash and instantly rewinding 10 seconds to prevent it. Or being in the middle of an exam and freezing time so you can work through each question with zero pressure. Maybe you've lost someone you love, and you go back to a parallel moment where they still exist, even if only for a while. In this world, aging becomes optional. People slow down to savor youth, or speed through the dull years. People slow down to savor youth, or speed through the dull years. History becomes fluid. Events that once happened now constantly shift as individuals edit their personal timelines. Time itself is no longer a collective experience. It's a private playlist, customized for each user. Nations, corporations, and everyday citizens no longer just compete for wealth or power, but for the ability to manipulate the very flow of time. And at that point, one question rises above all. Would humanity even recognize itself if time, once the ultimate constant, was now just a tool in our hands? Gaining control over time would reshape life on every level. Let's start with the good. We could learn faster repeating moments of study or experimenting with different approaches until mastery is achieved. Accidents, mistakes, and losses could be reversed or avoided, making life feel safer and more forgiving. In medicine, doctors could pause time during surgery, operating with absolute precision and no rush against the clock. In war or crime, violence could be preemptively undone. On an emotional level, people could relive joy endlessly pausing sunsets, rewinding first dates, erasing arguments. But here comes the flip side. If everyone could modify time at will, reality itself would fracture. Each person would live in their own timeline, making shared history impossible. Truth becomes relative. Criminals could endlessly loop moments to scam systems, commit crimes, and vanish into altered timelines. Power would shift away from traditional hierarchies. Those who can control time become the new elite, creating a terrifying imbalance. Psychological consequences would hit hard. When there's no risk of failure, the need for growth vanishes. People might delay everything indefinitely, thinking, I can always go back. Emotions could become numb. If happiness can be repeated infinitely, does it still feel special? If loss can be undone, can we truly value what we have? And who takes responsibility when someone changes time and creates chaos in parallel timelines? Law, ethics, even human identity would need to be completely rewritten. What begins as liberation could spiral into collapse. Let's look at two lives. First is Dai, an engineer in a world where people can manipulate time. One day, he makes a costly mistake at work, millions lost due to a technical error. He instantly rewinds time by 3 minutes and fixes it. The relief is addictive. Soon, he's rewinding every argument with his wife to say the perfect thing, replaying meetings until he sounds flawless. But the more perfect he becomes, the less human he feels. Every word is calculated. every emotion rehearsed. His wife eventually leaves him, not because he did something wrong, but because he became someone robotic, edited beyond recognition. Then there's Lynn. After losing her father in a car accident, she desperately rewinds time and prevents it. Her father lives, and life goes on, but only for her. The people around her remember him as gone. The timeline she changed exists only for her, leaving her increasingly isolated. She insists he's alive, but no one agrees. The emotional dissonance fractures her mind. She lives between two realities, one where her father exists, one where he doesn't. Eventually, she loses the ability to tell which one is real. These stories show how time control can chip away at the soul. Di lost authenticity chasing perfection. Lynn broke her reality trying to relive love. When time can be rewound or paused endlessly, consequences fade, meaning erodes, and identity fractures. In physics, time isn't just a ticking clock, it's part of the fabric of the universe. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, time is woven into spacetime, affected by speed and gravity. We've already proven that time can slow down astronauts on the ISS just a bit more slowly than those on Earth. This is called time dilation. But rewinding or freezing time, that's a different beast. Theoretical models like wormholes or closed time-like curves suggest it's not impossible, but they rely on exotic matter and negative energy, things we haven't observed or controlled. There's also the grandfather paradox. What if you went back in time and prevented your grandparents from meeting? You'd never be born to go back in time to begin with. Some theories try to escape this with multiverses. Each change creates a new timeline. But this causes a problem. If everyone creates alternate realities, which one is real? Neurologically, our brains are built to perceive time linearly. Our emotions, memories, and identity depend on a forward-moving timeline. Messing with that rhythm can cause dissociation, depression, or delusion. People who live in the past or future too much tend to lose their grip on the now, the only thing truly real. Most importantly, meaning comes from limits. Love, growth, courage all are shaped by time's pressure. Take that away, and we risk losing the very qualities that make us human. Science may eventually give us tools to manipulate time, but the deeper question is whether our minds and morality are ready to carry that burden. With time under human control, a flood of complex and surreal scenarios emerges. Time wars, for example. Countries or groups battle not on land, but across timelines altering key moments in history to shift power in their favor. History becomes unstable, manipulated like a game of chess with infinite undos. In education, students rewind exams, redo lectures until they ace everything. At first glance, this seems like progress, but real learning becomes obsolete. Exams lose meaning, and the line between intelligence and repetition blurs. In love, people edit every conversation, erase every mistake, and perfect their relationships. But perfection kills authenticity. If everything is scripted, where's the emotion? Where's the risk? And without risk, is it even love? Society fractures into temporal classes. The wealthy use time as a currency. They pause aging, extend opportunities, even wait out diseases while the poor live linearly and suffer the consequences. In healthcare, the rich freeze critical illnesses until cures exist, while the less privileged face death without a pause button. Time crimes emerge, hacking reality, duplicating future stock knowledge, erasing competition in alternate timelines. A new kind of law enforcement rises. Time police. Their job isn't just to enforce rules, but to monitor the very flow of events, across divergent realities. On a personal level, emotional damage escalates. Those who rewind too often to relive joy can get stuck, addicted to one perfect memory. Meanwhile, people who fast forward through pain grow numb, incapable of empathy. Eventually, we face the darkest scenario. Reality collapses. With no shared time, no agreed-upon moment, society loses coherence. Time zones, laws, even birthdays become irrelevant. Everyone lives in a self-edited reality. Civilization as we know, it could dissolve not with a bang, but with a million separate timelines quietly unraveling in solitude. But what if you're already living in a timeline someone else rewound? Ever had a moment of déjà vu, like you've lived a conversation, seen a place, or felt something before, but can't explain why? Could it be a trace of a moment that was edited, and you're the only one who doesn't remember the original version? Imagine you go into work. Everything feels normal, but something is off. A clock on the wall is 3 minutes behind your phone. You dig deeper. Security footage checks out. But deep down, something feels changed. Then it hits you someone rewound time and altered a decision. You're living in their edited reality. Now imagine if a small group of powerful people gained mastery over time. They could reshape history, tweak elections, erase movements, and manufacture truth. Would we ever know? Are your thoughts your own? Or are you living a script rewritten dozens of times without your consent? Suppose someone, in their grief, rewinds time endlessly to save a loved one, creating hundreds of alternate realities that conflict and overlap. Eventually, reality itself starts to fracture. No one knows what year it is, how old they are, or which version of the world is real. In the worst-case scenario, repeated time interference could break space-time itself, causing realities to collide, overlap, and implode in a phenomenon known as a temporal singularity. Even if you're ethical, what do you do if saving one loved one costs the lives of hundreds in a new timeline? What weighs heavier, personal love or collective consequence? The ability to control time is not just about power, it's about judgment, restraint, and emotional maturity. And here's the real question. If one day you woke up with the ability to control time, would you dare to use it? Time control is both a dream and a nightmare. We've imagined a world where people can rewind, pause, and skip through life. The upsides are tempting: no more regrets, optimized living, perfect moments on repeat. But hidden beneath the surface lies something darker: shattered realities, lost meaning, fractured minds, and collapsed systems. Time, in its unforgiving forward march, is our greatest teacher. Its limits give life its weight. Every mistake, every goodbye, every moment we can't relive, those are what shape us. If everything can be undone, what's the point of choice? Maybe the value of life comes not from our ability to fix it, but from our courage to live it flawed, fragile, and fleeting. This what if is more than a sci-fi fantasy. It's a mirror. It reflects our deepest fears, our boldest hopes, and our ethical blind spots. Whether or not we ever gain the power to bend time, the real question isn't if or how, but should we? And if you did wake up tomorrow, holding a device that could rewind your life, what would you do first? Relive a memory? Undo a mistake? Or simply turn it off and keep moving forward, knowing that time's one-way journey is exactly what makes life worth living?